Good evening, everybody. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday. This is episode 4 of Come Fly With Me. This one's going to be appropriately titled The Ore2shore Race because we're going to be flying the path of the Ore2shore in one of my favorite places on the planet. We're going to be doing it in a aviation in a Cessna 152 just because that's kind of been my go-to default plane right now while I'm learning how to fly. I'm in no way a commentator at all in YouTube with regards to um, teaching people how to do anything. I just really enjoyed this. So our first stop is going to go from, we're going to take off at Sawyer and maybe land here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we need to get to our first stop, which is going to be Negaunee Township. Or Negaunee. And that's where we're going to start our race. Typically, it's a free-for-all start, or free start race. Everybody lines up here, basically, and they careen out of this, and then they bust a hard right. Okay. So what we're going to want to do is start this right here. We're going to add that as a departure. Yeah, we need to figure out where we're going to finish up this. So I'm just thinking we'll probably just finish up right here in the parking here. We're going to set that as our arrival. Okay, so they're going to think that I'm just going to go there, but the main thing we're going to do is we're going to start at the Sawyer Air Force Base, and we're going to get our start here in Negaunee. And thankfully, somebody put together a map of the race course, which of course I did already, and then had to restart my game, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to come out of here, and then we're going to go through Ishpeming. So I'm going to add that angle there. They're going to think I'm going to go that way. I'm not. Then technically we come out here, and we follow this line all the way around to the power line sections. Everybody knows, anybody who races mountain bikes in the Ore2shore 48 knows that this is really kind of the crappiest part of the ride, but it's also like kind of the most scenic and beautiful, but like hilly and crazy. And somewhere in here we've got you guys know what I'm talking about. The hill. It's just awful. It's just like Misery Hill. What's wrong with me? Crazy, you know? Can't always get those things correct, incorrect, whatever, however you want to call it. That's what it is. Add that here. Technically, we are then going to catch up with and fly over. Let's fly over my brother-in-law's house. We'll add that, and then we're gonna bust a hard left, and we're gonna come up over here. This is the 501 bridge. Gorgeous section. You get up to about here, add this spot, ish. Then you make your way all the way into Marquette. So you're gonna stay a little north of here and come in, and we're eventually gonna finish here. So we're gonna go past this right here. So add this as a spot. I'm gonna add that as a spot, and then we can fly around Marquette back to Sawyer Airport. Or Air Force Base / International Airport. So this is technically the 48-mile Ore2shore route that we're gonna fly. We're gonna talk about it. I want to let you guys know tonight's stream is brought to you unofficially by my boys at Stonehound Brewing Company. If you want to check them out, they are in Acme. They are our race sponsor. I race for the McLean Stonehound race team. So we are specialized, focused, and I do not comment for them. These are my own thoughts and my own opinions. But if you ever want to support our boys, wonderful guys, a wonderful team. I love racing with them. Great philanthropy. They're great for the community. They do a lot of things for St. Jude. In fact, they rode in 1 month and raised almost 40 grand for St. Jude, which is pretty awesome for a group of bikers. Now, granted, I don't think my green screen is properly set. That's okay. I can figure that real quick and see if we can make it a little better for you. It always just depends on. There we go. That's better. All right, so they're going to put me right here in front of something, which is super obnoxious. That's okay, because we're not trying to be heroes. But I'm ready to fly. Okay, I'm at a gas station. I don't really need to be at a gas station, so that's not really what I'm after. Weight and balance is good. Let's get our Skyforce Sim NG loaded. We can have our GPS up here. And I do apologize a little bit. I do have a cold. I can't help you there. I just have one, but you know. And I am using the Thrustmaster system with the 1600, whatever, 16,000 yoke, and also the. Let's put it in right here. Primers here. Let's set our alternator and battery on. Let's see here. We need to get our taxi lights. Let's get our taxi lights on. Our strobe lights on. Nav lights on. Pilot heat. I think I'm good. Cabin lighting on. We can keep it on just for the sake of it. Throttle here. Mixture maybe a little bit in. We're going to be flying really low, so I'm not super worried about the mixture here. Flaps. We can take off with it with maybe a little bit of flaps. No big deal. We don't have onboard GPS. Obviously, this is an old plane. This is really just going to be us hanging out and having a good ass time. So we don't have anything on yet. Make sure our fuel's good. Primer's good. Stop it. Engine not started. The engine started. No, not. Let's prime it again. Cut mixture. Maybe we do. Hang on one second. Well, this is odd. I don't know why I'm not taking off because don't apparently know what I'm doing. So hang on. Mistakes were made, right? Prime the engine again. Where's our choke? Do we have a choke on or something? Well, let's just fake it. Let's just fake the funk. Alright, well, whatever. We're gonna fake that for right now. I'll figure out what's going on. Let's see here. We can just pull this up. They're gonna make me run directly through this, apparently, because welcome to Flight Simulator. There we go. I'm having epic fail time right now. But I'm not gonna do anything here. We're just gonna go ahead and crash right through this. And we're not gonna worry about anything specific, okay? In fact, let's make you guys happy. Let's make this a little bit official, right?
Sawyer ground Red Hawk 231 request taxi for takeoff, departing straight out.
Yeah.
Red Hawk 231 taxi to and hold short of runway 19er using taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 119.975 when ready.
Well, I'm acknowledging your
Taxi,
clearance.
hold short runway 19er via taxiway Alpha Red Hawk 231.
Alright, let's keep going. And we might be going well fast or whatever. We're not following the yellow brick road perfectly, but what are you gonna do, you know? What are you doing out in the airport, bud? What are you doing? Get out of here. Whatever, bro. Alright, so we're heading 1919. We're basically gonna take off the wrong way because I am a fool. I'm breaking all the rules. I am not getting good grades. I'm not interested in getting good grades. I am a non-good grade getter. I'm a rebel. Not trying to prove anything tonight on this. I just want to do this route. Excessive taxi speed, huh? Long runway, you know? So we're gonna come up, pony up here. We're gonna request clearance for landing, or for takeoff. I do deal with my ADHD. It's a problem. I do say the wrong things when I'm doing too many things at one time, so maybe I'll stay less. Okay, we're gonna get into position here. Oh, sorry about that. Alright, so we're gonna stop right here on 1-1, heading 1-1. So we're in the wrong we're in the wrong position. Okay, we're gonna stop. We're gonna take a look to your left, look right. This isn't realistic, so whatever. And then we're gonna tune onto here. And then I'm gonna request takeoff.
Sawyer Tower, Red Hawk 2 Tree 1, ready for straight out departure at runway 19er.
Red Hawk 2 tree 1 altimeter 29er.9er 2 wind calm straight out departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 19er.
Alright, so cleared for takeoff. Auto control. Yeah, I know. There's all these hints and stuff. I don't know how to turn them off. Acknowledge takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff runway.
Leave that in.
Red Hawk 2 Tree 1.
2 tree 1. Sounds like Uper talk to me, buds. Never been to the UP, Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It is incredible. They're saying 2 tree 1, so that's kind of the vibes. So we are going to put flaps down roughly 30% for our takeoff, just so we can climb at a reasonable volume. Let's get out of here, boys and girls. And this plane always has that left pole, so yes, I know how to steer, bud. And we're off. And let's head out of here, boys and girls. So for the sake of this destination and like what we're going to be doing today, there's going to be a mixture of in and out of the cockpit views. Just because I like to see the sights as well as fly, and I don't necessarily need this to be super or hyper realistic. I just want it to be entertaining. I'm not teaching anybody how to do anything. Obviously, I suck at this, so whatever. Who cares? This is only meant to be informative. We're in Copper Country. The UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Recently, they had the Polar Roll last weekend, which is a fat bike race. 30-something miles, depending on which route you were going. There we go. I'm trying to stall this bird. Come on. I'm having a really rough start to this whole video. I could re-record it, but I stream live on Twitch at Algorithm TTV, which is why my plane says Algo on it. That's what people know me as typically. It's kind of my gamer thing. It's kind of cool. But sometimes we do Flight Simulator. A lot of times I'm doing Fortnite, NCAA football 2014 revamped. We also do Call of Duty League, and then chatting. And then soon, once we have a band now that we're gonna be playing out. Still don't have a name for it. Maybe you guys can come up with a name, but we have a band that we're gonna be playing shows this summer. It's 3 guys, myself, and 2 friends of mine. We're gonna swap playing bass, guitars, acoustic guitars, electric guitars. We haven't really brought in a 4th bass player yet. Some of it's gonna be, I don't know, dual acoustic. Some of it's gonna be dual electric. Some of it's gonna be electric bass, dual acoustic with drums. And so, gonna be a handful of original tunes. There's gonna be quite a bit of covers. So that's gonna be super fun. And then hopefully we can set up a tripod of sorts and then live stream that on the Algorithm TTV Twitch channel as a music. So you guys can hang out with us while we play live music. So we're going over Copper Country. Basically, what the area is known for is its deposits and mines, and the Upper Peninsula.
One leaving my airspace frequency.
Yeah, I'll acknowledge it.
Sawyer Tower, Red Hawk 2 tree, frequency change.
So right now what we're doing is we're flying out ourselves out to. We want to start in Negaunee. It's outside of Marquette. Right here, you can see it up here. I can make this a little bigger for you guys. We're gonna start in Negaunee and we're gonna fly out like this, and we're gonna follow the route that we had established into town in Marquette, Michigan. If you haven't been to Marquette, I highly recommend hitting up Black Rock's Brewing Company. Phenomenal beer. I also recommend hitting up Ore2shore. Ore2shore is incredible as well. And you just can't go wrong. Marquette and the UP is just a phenomenal area, unbeknownst to a lot of people. Or unknown to a lot of people, however you want to, whatever you guys want to say it. Should have picked like that hot purple plane, you know what I mean? I think it would look cooler. So we want to hold off. I think we're gonna round out about 3,500 feet. We're gonna come in a little bit lower on the course so that we can follow the course itself. So yeah, let's go back and talk about the race. So the Ore2shore is it's a point-to-point race starting in Negaunee, Michigan and ending in Marquette. And it is 48 miles on the hard rock, 28 miles on the soft rock, and I think there's a shorter one, as well. But I did for the first time last year the 48 miler, and now I'm not competitive yet. You know what I mean? I just love to do them and finish and go as fast as I can. So while the pros are just animals, I'm not a pro, but I am riding for a race team, and so it's fun. We have a big group of guys that love to do this stuff. We're doing it all the time. We got a bunch of races lined up for next year. Nine races. This was my first time doing this race. I didn't anticipate the difficulty and how much, like, I have to mess with my throttle here real quick because there's too many buttons for it. Anyway, I didn't anticipate how hard this course was, how long it was, how much climbing there was for the first 20 miles. They'd say it's mostly downhill, but yeah, that's after you get to the 28-mile course. Sure, I'll agree with that. But it was tough, and I wasn't in the shape that I needed to be in. I finished it. I didn't finish where I wanted to. My goal was 3.5 hours. I got 4 hours. So a half hour, you know, whatever. This year we're gonna be hitting that goal because I've been doing all kinds of Zwift and training for it for this year. And so I'm pretty stoked. Like, I'm in far better shape now than I was last year. I don't know. I'm just really looking forward to it. I'm super motivated to do well. And yeah, now I'm on the Stonehound McLean race team. So if you're ever in Traverse City, make sure you go ahead and rep Stonehound and McLean cycles for all your gear, all your needs. They're going to sponsor me. I might as well sponsor them a little bit out here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we're going to get to the point of Negaunee where we're going to get to start on the race. Now I don't know a ton of history about Marquette. I bet we go there like 4 or 5 times a year. It's just certainly an amazing area. Your copper mines, so sick. Where are we at altitude wise? We're doing okay. We're about 3,000 feet. Just gonna come down here a little bit. We'll ease off our throttle. This is gonna be our first waypoint. Our first point here. Let's go back there. Alright, so we're gonna want to be on the outside of the plane for this route, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in a little bit lower. So this right we're going over right now is like the first climb right here. There's this really cool kind of like toboggan run. This whole section right here, this little gap through that we're climbing over right now, that's our first climb. You climb basically directly up a ski hill and head towards that direction. So, and right now in the town of Ishpeming, we start. You can see the red building. Right here is where the start is. Everybody lines up here and they go right on out of town. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna cruise on over. There's town, so let's go ahead and make our turn. Alright, so we're gonna run right through town. And then right here there's a bottleneck right there. We're gonna take a right. That's where my brother crashed last year. And it was funny. He came out of here. He was trying to gap 2 people and ended up like elbowing both of them, and they all went down. And then I was behind him with about 400 people behind us. So I had to part the sea for him and stop for a minute while he got a shoe on and like he broke a shoe and like all this stuff. It was kind of crazy. It was funny. The dudes were pissed. He was shaken up. He thought he got a concussion from it. I don't doubt it. It looked pretty gnarly. We started right next to each other in the beginning of the race, my brother and I. And I just rode with him, right on his tail, right on his side, all the way up through town, up the hill, and then out. But then he tried to gap because he was trying to be super hyper aggressive in the beginning. And like I said, he elbowed 2 dudes, and they went down, and they went down hard. It was awful. It was funny, but it was awful. So my brother gets up from this crash, looks at me, he's like, dude, oh my god, I'm okay, I think I'm concussed though. I was like, yeah, I think you are, I guess, he wasn't in good shape. He gets up though, and he just freaking takes off. I mean, he just took off. It was insane. So right now, we should be out here over these hills. That's our climb right there, right? So our climb right there, and we're coming out behind these houses, going down through this lake in the dirt. We come out and then we go through town basically. I don't know exactly where we are in town when we're coming through Ishpeming, but that's pretty fun. Like, it's just, you come out, you're going, I keep saying the same stuff over again. Maybe I have to talk less. And then basically you come out into these like coppered roads and stuff, like these dirt roads. And a lot of this isn't even open to anybody like during the year. It's not like typical riding. I think it's right there. And there's some train tracks. I should have done a better job of scouting the route, but I just wanted to get a general vibe of like how this race goes and what it covers. At 2,500 feet. Just a beautiful, beautiful race. Last year it was raining, a little muddy. It was you could navigate it just fine, but it was It wasn't the greatest, right? So yeah, basically, I think we're down here somewhere. And then we're gonna come out to the power line section. Yeah, we need to get to the power lines. Sorry. So there's the power lines. So we're gonna be closer to the power lines, and then we're gonna make it at about right here. And we're gonna go to, let's go real low, so that we can take the power line section like really close to the ground. So we're basically flying over the track right now, and then you bust into this power line section. And this power line section is super challenging. You'll be able to see it as we get a little bit lower and closer to the section. So once you get to about this section, you start to, basically have to settle in, because this stuff is difficult. And you're taking all these sand roads right here on the left. Those are all part of this race, and you're in and out of this the whole time for 28 miles or 20 miles technically, until you get to the next course section. So the next course section is mostly over in the woods, and we'll just take it back towards Marquette, fly around Marquette for a second, then head back to Sawyer Air Force Base and close down shop for the meantime. This will be a little bit of a longer video, of course. It's at 27 minutes. So this is Misery Hill, I believe. Maybe that's no, that's not. This one ducks back into the woods. Really, really pretty. So that road goes in there. I think this is it right here. This whole section is really steep and really difficult to climb all the way to the top of it without jumping off your bike. I, for one, didn't, but I think there was like one dude that cleared it with pro class, and that's insane. It is absolutely just crazy insane how hard that is to do. I mean, we're talking like 2 foot tall rocks you got to climb up. When you settle in here into this section, you're like, okay, the main big climbs are done. That's super steep, techie climbs, they're finished. And it starts to flatten out, and there's a lot of aid stations around here. It's kind of okay. We dump a little bit to the left here, and then we're gonna be crossing a road, and then we're gonna bust a right on this road. And this road right here in the trees is fast. It's downhill. It's like, oh, it's such a great reprieve to be here at the end of the power line section, because your legs are like, I hate you. Your motivation is like, I mean, if you're not an experienced racer or anything like that, you've never done this before, it's really difficult. We bust a left over here, coming down this road. And this is from memory, of course. I'm not. We're gonna bust out into 510 at some point, and somewhere over here is my brother-in-law lives over here. So start our left turn on this. We're on, I believe 510 is here. We're getting there. Could zoom in a little. Yeah, so we just 510. Let's go a little higher so we can get a better angle. They want me to crash here, don't they? So we lost our course here, unfortunately. Kind of figure Negaunee Township's over there. Yeah, we gotta figure out what the river went. We're way out of sorts, dude. Yeah, I got ourselves lost here. What did I do? Sheesh. I'm lost. Oh, I got ourselves lost. Oh well. So anywho, oh, because we're freaking going to the left, right? My map isn't helping me much. Ah, oh, here's the 510 bridge. What's wrong with me? I got off track. We needed to be coming from the different direction, but it's all good. We're not gonna worry about it. So it's a 510 bridge. Coming from there, you're climbing up this bridge. It's all uphill. Actually, you know what? This is what we should have been doing. Silly me. My brother-in-law lives over to the right near that custom thing. But like here, it's 510. There's the railroad bridge. Gorgeous section. Gorgeous section of road. It's all a climb from here up that hill and then up some more, and then you bust a right. And then you're gonna follow these woods basically all the way back. Right to about behind the section. So long story short, it's a hell of a race. It's a long race. It hurts. I didn't fuel properly. Didn't have the right type of fuel on me. I didn't run out of my water until the very end, and when I was done, I was gassed. 4 hours, and like my brother and his friends, they did my brother beat me by 20 minutes. My brother's friends did the 28-miler. And so they were like, hey, have a beer. And I was so gassed. I was like, no beer. Somebody grab me a chocolate milk. I was in rough shape. So after slamming a couple chocolate milks, I was like, I feel better now. A little bit anyways. Go back into the cockpit now so we don't listen to... We'll bring that down. So I was just super gassed, tired. Burnt like 2,500 calories during the course of the race. Didn't have the proper carb fuel. It was raining and I was sweating so much that it was going in my eyes. And for the first, I mean, I'll be honest with you, for the first hour and a half, I could barely see out of my eyes. I had to take my goggles off, or my glasses off, because they were fogged up. My eyes were burning. They were bloodshot. They hurt for like 2 weeks afterwards. I got a sty from all the sand and the dirt and the mud. So yeah, it was a trying experience. And you know, it's that kind of type 2 fun where you're like, I had a good time, but I don't remember having a good time. I didn't have a good time, but I remember having a good time. So here's the deal. I'll be back. I'll be back for next year. You know what I mean? I know it's gonna hurt. I know what to expect. I know how I have to train now, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta do this again. It was fun. From what I remember, it was fun. It was fun being done, to be honest with you. And once we were done with the race, it was like, okay, great. It's good to be done. I've done it. Okay, I've done the Ore2shore. Now I gotta come back and do better. Whereas one of the other racers said last year prior to Iceman, he's like, you know how you get faster? Like, you just go harder. Pedal more, you pedal it, and you do it again. Of course, that's not necessarily what the Dylan Johnsons of the world will tell you. Or anybody else for that matter. They always talk about like fast twitch muscle and slow twitch muscle and zone 2 training and everything else. There's like a performance science to it, but like it's not like I'm gonna be in the Tour de France anytime soon. So these trails right here, we're going along on the left side on this bridge. Cross in, you go through these woods. You pump out like right here by these businesses. and then you make your way towards the dome here, where they play hockey and football. And the race finishes right here, so they call it Ore2shore. So you start in the Ore country and you finish at the shore of Lake Superior in Marquette. So, like I said, point to point. This building here is where the finish is. Coming in across through here, and boom, and you finish here. And then everybody coalesces here, and that's the end of the Ore2shore. So, long story short, when I finished it, I was gassed, I was tired, I was beat, kind of mentally broken, but I finished, didn't stop. Didn't have any time off the bike, which made me happy. But it was just really painful and slow. So next year I'm gonna do it again, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot, and I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully I can make it work and do a better job. I'm sure I will. I'm putting in the work, and I'm on the team, and I got all these really strong riders helping me out. If you see over here on the right, there's ski hill right here. That's Marquette Mountain. This whole section over here is the South Trails, famous trails in the Marquette system, and just amazing mountain country. It's just super incredible. But I'm going to speed us up for a minute in terms of time to finish the video since the race is over. So you're gonna see me jumping around a lot. That's only because I have increased time twofold, and we'll go ahead and do a landing in cockpit and call it good in terms of the video, because people like to take off and they like the landings, and I don't need this to be any longer than, I don't know, 45 minutes. We'll line ourselves up properly into the airport, let it chill for a minute. We'll start a flapped descent in here. Go to 0%, 6 something nautical miles. Slow down time. It doesn't look like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know myself very well. I mean, honestly, this was a shaky video in terms of flying, because I was thinking more about bike racing than I was thinking about actually like doing a good job at the flying aspect of it. We'll speed up just a little bit longer. I'll bounce around a little bit because time is not realistic, real time. And we're gonna pony down on to the throttle. And let's zoom out a little bit. And let's take this seriously, shall we? So, and we're roughly at 2,500. Our airspeed is high, but we're coming in. We're gonna take down the throttle. We have so much runway here that it doesn't really matter. So if you guys are interested, coming up to the UP, the race is traditionally, I think, in August, and it is a great time. It's a party. Before the race, get to Black Rocks. There's bands playing. There's all kinds of cyclists getting ready for their race. Like, stoke level is off the charts. Last year, Kerry Werner, a professional biker, cyclocross racer out of Virginia, won it. A couple local guys did pretty well too, namely Wakely, top 10. Lars Holstrom did a good job. Ryan Olshove, Garrett Genema, lots of really talented kids that are just on their way up. Just awesome stuff. Casey Schwartz? No. Casey Hildebrand out of Wisconsin. Laps involved a little bit. Let's see if we can get to that first section, like, see if we can land this. So, their flaps out for our landing, flaps max. Dude, Trish, we're gonna try to just stall this plane on the runway. Stall it over the runway, so we're getting down to 60 knots. Way 19, we should have gone the other. Oh, just fine. Doing just fine. Everything's hunky dory. Everything's good. Everything back. Pull up, reduce airspeed. We don't want to yo-yo. That's everybody gets mad at you. Yo-yo. Go ahead and pull back on the throttle. Little bit. You know, not great. We're alive. We're alive. We've made it back. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed Come Fly With Me, the Ore2shore version. I'm probably should script it, but I mean, it's only my 4th time doing this type of content. So you know what? Mostly for me, I usually have a live audience. I'm usually playing video games that are just kind of a little bit more geared towards they're a little more geared towards just live entertainment. They have some music playing and stuff, and the spoken word stuff is both, and just sort of rambling different stories about places that I've been, and really enjoy being at excessive taxi speed. No, right. So I'm gonna end it right here. I'm not even gonna take you to the very end. All I'm gonna say is that come up to Marquette, go to the places we talked about, Ore2shore. Go to the Ore2shore, go to Ore Docks. Check out all those places. It's fun. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Sorry for the random video at 42 minutes. If you're still here, appreciate it. You're probably not, but take good care. Peace.